question?
My first most recent question is uh, a virtual private network. I want to know a little more about this. It's something that I saw advertised recently, and so it raised the question, why would I need that? Do I need that? Should I have that?
So the virtual private networks right now, NordVPN is being advertised on almost all the YouTube channels that they can pay for, and having a virtual private network is a good thing to do. It allows you to remain more anonymous on the internet, and when you're browsing, people can't specifically find
Mm-hmm.
you. The way it works is you um, essentially, if you have a house with all your electronics on it on the same Wi-Fi, all of those electronics are part of a network, and a virtual network is just making that house extend to as far as you want, right? That network of your house, it could extend all across the globe because it's not a physical router that you're all linking to. It's like a virtual web.
So it includes other people's IP
It
addresses.
Yeah, essentially creates like a shared pool of bunch of IP addresses, and so if you go to a site like Facebook, it can't backtrack where which of those is the one accessing its site.
Hmm. So tell me more about the ways that it makes it harder for someone to hack you, I guess, then, or
Yeah.
how do they hack you?
So essentially, a network kind of is your first barrier of defense when it comes to being attacked. So somebody has to be able to get into the network
To hack you at all?
to, yeah, be able to hack you at all.
Oh, so if you have this, then you wouldn't even need a firewall and other protections?
It's still good to have a protection. So you'll have it's essentially an added layer of protection. Your IP is now, instead of a pool of several IPs from your um home network, it would be it would be lots of IPs, like generated IPs. Oftentimes it's routed through the network to even show a different IP than the IP that you're coming out from. So IP address is essentially like your address, your computer's address on the internet.
Okay, yeah.
And when you are on your network gives your computer an address.
Each device on your network has an
Each
address.
your device has on your network has an address. Now, when it goes to your router, which is distributing the Wi-Fi, that router reroutes that IP address. So all communications through that will actually extend out through only through one IP address. And it's going to be
Hmm.
different than the one that's coming from your computer or any device. It's going to have
Hmm.
a whole different number set. That singular IP address then goes to your modem. Your modem is what connects you to the internet. The modem also changes the IP address.
If you have a virtual private network,
No, it already has.
always?
Yeah, so you have what is called your um, internal IP and your external IP.
Okay.
So if you go
That
onto your
makes
computer and you look IP config on the command prompt, anybody that knows what I'm talking about will know what I mean. There's going to be two different slots. There's going to be your IP address for your computer, and then your gateway address, which is the IP address for the router.
uh-huh.
And then if you ask Google what is my IP address, you'll get a whole different number.
You can ask Google what your IP address is?
Yes, you can ask Google what your IP. You just type in what is my IP and it'll tell you.
So if you have a VPN, will it still be able to?
So what it does is that external IP address, when you route it through a VPN, changes it another time to a different IP.
So will Google know it?
It will know the very latest IP address that you've had. And that IP address could be somewhere from Bangladesh for all it knows.
Oh, because it's changing. So if you have a
because it's going
VPN.
to a network somewhere that's not at your home.
Hmm.
Because when you use the IP address that comes from your internet company, it can find out where that IP address is located.
Hmm.
But if you route it through another virtual private network that the network servers are in, like Bangladesh or China or Europe, it might think of you as being in Europe. Oftentimes they'll actually let you choose what country you want to be in so that you can get better service, because if you're going too far away, it takes a while for the websites to come back to you,
Hmm.
because the websites have to take the same wiring back towards you.
Oh, so it can make a delay in.
Yeah, the
Oh.
more routing that you go through, the longer delay. Like, it's milliseconds of time, but it definitely can affect how long, especially if you're doing it like gaming and stuff.
Hmm.
So, having a VPN, added layer of security. It's essentially like having two routers at your house, but one of them, instead of it being at your house, could be somewhere else in the country, and everybody thinks you're over there when you're really over here.
And as long as they think you're over there, you're safe because they can't get.
I mean, there's still people that are super hackers that can figure it out, that can break through the firewalls and things like that. And but it is an added layer, and it's especially if you are prone to being hacked, if you are a public figure, if you are kind of any kind of more of a high end business, anybody that might be targeted, businesses, or if you're a higher up in a business, you might want to, if you have confidential information,
Hmm.
that kind of stuff.